Good morning. Welcome to the Sports Debate Podcast. I get a kick out of seeing James in the backstage there. He's always just dancing to
Hey man, it's early in the morning. You got to liven up the mood. My wife sits here watches me during the show. I like to make her laugh. So yeah, it's fun. And that song, it seems like it's like I need a luau or a Hawaiian shirt and some straw hat. I feel like I'm in some tiki what do you call those things? Torches everywhere. I need to be on the beach dancing and having fun. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I got you. I feel you. Yeah, it's always great to have that song. It's probably one of our most popular intros. I mean, as far as the song is concerned, because as well, I never ever understood. Oh, by the way, Jack's not here. They were Jackless. This is a
Oh,
word.
I don't know how to take that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we are back with the Sports Debate Podcast, and today we got three topics on the menu. Just real quick, tomorrow will be the day that we will find out who is the World Cup winner. Just to go through some small sports stuff, Major League Baseball had resumed playing yesterday after the All-Star break. So we're going to be looking forward to that. Now this is supposed to be the time when teams start playing. Okay. Or don't, whatever the case may be. But anyway.
Well, I do have a question. Is this? I know there's a good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I know there's a what is it? A semi. There's a losers bracket in World Cup. Is that today?
Yes, that would be the semifinals. Yeah, well, yeah,
Right.
the
Semifinal
consolidation
losers
cup.
bracket. Yeah.
The consolidation
Yeah.
cup, whatever. That's just like
like Nelly said, what does it take to be number one? 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers. So they're fighting for 3, and nobody's gonna remember
nobody
that.
gonna remember that, right? It's
Yes.
just some more soccer somebody can watch. That's all that is. All right.
Right.
So speaking, and by the way, the training camps are going to start opening up pretty soon here too. So let's segue into that. First question is, who will have the most significance joining a team, Aaron Donald or LeBron James? Now, just to set this up, Aaron Donald's basically going to go to the Rams if he does join a team. LeBron James is in question right now. He's keeping everything mum where he wants to go, but people are saying the 76ers will probably be a good spot for him. Hypothetically, if he goes to the 76ers, he'll become a piece on that. Now, both of these players are older. LeBron James, we talk about a lot of times, is the fact that he's kind of lost his defensive posture. He could probably play in like small pockets, but not a whole game. And he's kind of injury prone now because he's older. Let's face it. Aaron Donald I don't know if he's injury prone, but they've gotten to a contract where he will be only playing 8 games. As of yesterday, we found this out. He's having a contract for a year for the Rams, playing 8 games and then playing the playoffs, which is good because that's 9 games he gets rest. They'll probably play him 8 games that are important. Philadelphia and, of course, their division rivals are going to be games I'm sure he's going to play in. Now, saying that, who will have the most significance? Let's say hypothetically that LeBron James goes to the 76ers and Aaron Donald is going to go to the Rams. Now, James, who in your mind will probably put a team over the top?
Okay. And first of all, let's get it. Let's give you the credit out there that normally Jack is the one that proposes all the debate questions, and they're generally pretty good. These are all 3 questions that you put out today, my brother, are very good, outstanding, and thought provoking. And I am ready to rock and roll. And thank you for passing over the torch here. Look, like you just said, Aaron Donald was retired. He's presumably coming back, and he'll play 8 games in the season and all of the playoff games. 8, I guess, whether it be 8 consecutive games or 8 important games, so to speak. That's I guess that's yet to be determined. And LeBron James, you were looking at two of individually of their respective sports, premier players, arguably top three, top two, or I mean, I would say a top five of their position, or and specifically in football and basketball, at their position, best at their position. We're looking at three defensive player of the years in Aaron Donald, and 4 MVPs for LeBron James, and a 8 all first team all pros for Aaron Donald, 111 sacks, and LeBron James all time leading scorer. Like I said, the MVPs, all defensive player, and also first team all NBA teams. Look, both were dominant at one point in their career, but both are, yes, LeBron is LeBron for sure.
Mhm.
That could be interpreted in a lot of ways. Yes, both are older, but I'm going to go with LeBron here. I'm going to go to LeBron, and a lot of people could probably say, because they know I'm a LeBron James fan, but I will say I'm not a LeBron James apologist. I'm going to give you some facts here. I'm going to give you some facts and tell you why I think that LeBron James would be the more significant player. Good morning. Good morning. Jacking off somewhere. Excuse me. That's not funny. Sorry.
It's
Jack
not
had
Wednesday.
yes, he had some prior engagements. He's doing Jack things. He's doing Jack things, and he'll be back tomorrow. And yes, so just a jab at, little pun intended there, a little jab at my buddy Jack out there, wherever you are, Jack. Shout out to you. So I say that LeBron James also, he has proven to be a very valuable player. He's very valuable to any team that he's been on. He's won wherever he's been. He's won a championship there, even with the Lakers, and also with the Lakers last year. Let's just say LeBron James took a step back to be the third option behind Luka Doncic and behind Austin Reeves. When they went down with injury, they were not the favorites to go up against Houston. LeBron James became the primary focus again, and not only did they beat the favorite Houston Rockets, they swept them, if I'm not mistaken. They swept them. And this, whether you agree that LeBron James is 41 years old playing, and he playing most 3 of those games were Kevin Durant-less teams. It's what it is. You play what's in front of you. You play what's in front of you, and again, they were not favored, and they end up winning. And LeBron James proved that he's still a playmaker. He can fit and adjust now. Again, mind you, he's not playing the defense that he played before when he was at Miami and Cleveland. But again, we're talking about a guy that's 41 years old. It's an anomaly. He's the exception to the rule. There's never been a 41-year-old to play the sport, the level that he's played at, that he's playing now. And so I think if he gets the ideal situation, to me, in my opinion, it would be Philadelphia, not Miami, not Golden State, not Cleveland, because I think he'll have the most surrounding supported team with Embiid, Joel Embiid, with VJ Edgecombe, with Tyrese Maxey, and newly acquired Jaylen Brown would make. They're looking for a power forward, and LeBron James could be that power forward, and it will make them legit in the Eastern Conference as contenders for a final. Which, for all intents and purposes, let's just put it out there: LeBron James is looking for a last-ditch effort to get another ring before he retires. Okay, so we all know what that is. But that being said, I just think that on the flip side, Aaron Donald, 35 years old, hasn't played a down since 2023. We don't know what to expect from him. I know you look at him, he's still a physical specimen. But day in and day out, getting on the field, how's that mentality? I think he still wants to get out there, but I even got some guys that you can look at that retired and their success. And Reggie White, Charles Haley retired. They came back for 1 or 2 years with teams. Deion Sanders, 2004. Brett Favre, Randy Moss, 49ers in 2012, Eric Weddle for the Rams when they won a championship in 2022. How beneficial will they be for their teams, respectively, when they come back? You know, Deion Sanders was 37 when he came back. He did decent. He did okay. Is it enough for what he's going to benefit commanding two double teams and triple teams to allow Myles Garrett to be able to do his thing, you know? And so I don't know. I think he would be beneficial. Obviously they wouldn't even be asking for him to come back. I think he's going to be great. I just think of the two, I think the more beneficial and significant impact would be LeBron James.
Elizabeth asked, can one defensive player change a team more than one superstar in basketball? So you're saying like a defensive player on football versus one superstar in basketball. You know, I was thinking about this question too. And I was like, well, and I was having a conversation with Liz about it too yesterday. And she was like, well, it should be more significant for LeBron to be on the 76ers because it's basketball. There's only 5 people playing, whereas football, you have 11 people on defense. So, and that brought up a good point that he would be more significant on 76ers because you got to look at it like this. Right now, the starting lineup for the 76ers is Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecrombie, Jaylen Brown, Dean Wade, and Joel Embiid. That's what the starting lineup is right now. Now, we also know that the 76ers bench is kind of depleted because they lost a lot of players off there too. So adding LeBron to their lineup will put one person on the bench as depth. So that would help. That would actually help Philadelphia a little bit better because they'll have some kind of depth on the bench. Minus one, it's one player, but that's better than what they have on the bench right now. That one player. So as long as LeBron can stay healthy, these are always the key things. Stay healthy. He is a defensive liability now at his age. I'm not saying he can't play defense. He just can only play it in spurts. And you need him to be there for a long time to be a defensive player. That ain't the guy to go to at this point in his career. But and on the flip side of that, with the Rams, they got Brandon Fisk, Poona Ford, Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Nate Landman, Omar Spates, and Myles Garrett. Secondary is Trent McDuffie, Jalen Watson, Cameron Kitchens, Cam Carroll, and Quentin Lake. That's a good defense without Aaron Donald. I think what the difference is between these two teams is that LeBron could probably improve that team even more so on the 76ers than Aaron Donald can for the Rams. Because, again, we don't know what we're going to get for Aaron Donald. He hasn't played consecutively like LeBron has. We know what LeBron is. But with Aaron Donald, we don't know. And like you said, he's a physical specimen. He has been working out. It's just that getting back into football shape. And I understand it. I mean, they're doing it the right way. The Rams are doing it the right way. They're saying, hey, if you're going to play with us, you can play 8 games, play 8 significant games with us. You can take the other 9 games off and then be here in the playoffs. That way he's not strained, going in there and trying to have to make something happen. And he'll definitely be on a defensive line. They got Myles Garrett on the offensive line. I mean, not the linebacker position. So it'll be interesting in how they work that out. But I think that LeBron would be more significant to the 76ers than he would be than Aaron, because they really got a team already. Myles Garrett just completed that whole defense, if you think about it. And they did make some off-season moves for the Rams. So I just think that Aaron Donald is overkill for the Rams. You know what I'm saying? If he comes on there, it's like, damn, So it's, yeah. I think it'd be more significant for LeBron.
Yeah. And to add to what I was thinking, with LeBron being the more significant, impactful player for his respective team, if he were to go to Philadelphia 76ers, I think the biggest thing that you have to look at, just in the actual aspect of offense and defense. Aaron Donald is a complete liability on offense because he can't play offense. LeBron James can play both, albeit that he doesn't play the same type of defense that he, high level impact defense, but he can still play it. So he can play and be impactful on the defensive side. So I think that that particular argument or aspect of the game changes this equation as well. Is just that he has to. Aaron Donald has to be solely reliant upon their offense, which I have some question marks about their offense as well, to be considered contenders for a championship, versus looking at what we just mentioned, the aforementioned LeBron James potentially going to Philadelphia to be able to impact them in a way that they can challenge for a championship by playing both sides of the ball when necessary. But again, LeBron James is bringing also the aspect of a playmaker, the experience and continuity. Hasn't had a break in sports, and he's also bringing high basketball IQ. So he's bringing all that to a bunch of younger guys to, I would say, be the leader in the room instantly. Wherever LeBron James is, even if he's not the number one guy, the number one option on the basketball court, he's the unquestioned leader in that room immediately. And I'm just going to say, just to speak on what Liz said, from a sentimental standpoint, I think everyone would like to see LeBron James in Cleveland. If we can all say that this is likely his last season, that he's playing. But I'll be honest with you, I'm all for LeBron James going wherever he feels best. And again, no one's a bigger LeBron James fan than me. I'm all for wherever he feels best to go to try to win the championships. As he, all dudes do. Charles Barkley did it. Even Michael Jordan came back and played somewhere else. They all go somewhere. It's rare that you find a guy that just stays with one team, and whether he's been traded or he's left to go and search out a championship. Karl Malone did it. All these guys do it. At least LeBron James has won some, and he's going to another place to try to win maybe one more and be done. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I don't either. I think he's deserving of that. He should, all these teams should be vying for him because, it's not only the LeBron James factor. The dude's going to retire. I feel he's going to retire. You're right, after this season, and he's on his tour right now. And it's just whatever team he feels he can, do the most success on his tour. And I think you're right. The 76ers would be the team. Sentimental value, yes, would be Cleveland too. But it is what it is. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. And now I haven't heard anything about his decision or anything close. I know that Pat Riley was one of the guys that kind of, we're not done yet, because he was introducing Giannis. But he said, we're not done yet. And it's kind of hitting toward that maybe LeBron might go there. But I haven't heard anything indefinite. Also, some video surfaced with of a fan speaking to Steve Kerr, saying, we need to try to get LeBron James, and he said that's already done. We got him. And obviously that's words, but again, when you hear a head coach with that type of cachet and experience and championship, you don't think sometimes they're just shooting, blowing smoke out of anybody's what. I think, potentially you may have to take some credence to what guys say, particularly at that level. So there may be something there may be something that he might. He talked to Draymond too. That was another thing. Draymond had talked to him as well. So even though Draymond's not signed, but
right. But he deferred. He deferred. I think the main reason he deferred is to try to make room for LeBron James to come on. So they're trying to work a deal there, and I guess But ultimately, the decision is LeBron's, and he's been mum. He's been mum about where he's going to go, or there's no hint. So look, I mean, LeBron will always keep it close to the vest. He always has. I'm not mad at it because that's just who he is. That's just what he's been. So you know, it's not like he's giving you anything different than what he's done his whole career. You never knew where he was going until it happened. Yeah, and you know, until it happened. And so we'll see it. We'll see what happens. I mean, we have an idea. They did at least give clues of the teams that he's spoken to. Let's put it that way. But I wouldn't be surprised that a team comes up that all the teams that he's spoken to is totally different from the ones that he's spoken to. That he ends up being like I think Jack mentioned San Antonio. That would be left field, but I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron chose that. It's just who he is, man.
Yeah. All right, continue with the basketball thing here. The WNBA. I know people don't. I mean, people are more watching it now because of certain things that are going on in WNBA. But one of those certain things is this: is Caitlin Clark becoming a distraction, or does the WNBA officiating need to be looked at to be improved? Again, James, I'm going to go to you on that one because that's a touchy subject right now, especially for the WNBA, who are trying to establish, as they continue to try to establish a marker in the sport. So do you think it's Caitlin or do you think it's the referees? I know one of the conversations that we had before is that Caitlin Clark is a figurehead for the league. So, of course, she's going to draw more attention, just like every other good player on every other team, like A'ja Wilson and so forth, and Reese. But at the same time, do you think she gets more of her share of incidents as far as fouls and not getting called, or is it just the referees?
All right, so let's put this out here first before we get any further into the statement. I want to say that
LeBron and Giannis,
yeah, for sure, absolutely. And again, Rick, he's the main contributor to our debate questions, and he puts out some of the great, very, very good to great debate questions that are very intriguing and thought provoking. That keeps me on this show with all three of us because I like having the iron sharpened, and Jack is one of those guys that sharpens the iron for me, and I try to do the same for him and as well as B. But that being said, I'm going to say that A'ja Wilson is the face of the league. Let's just put this out here, or should be the face of the league, because there's no way that a person that's a 4-time MVP should never not be the face of any sport, whatever it may be. You should be the person that everybody's watching because you're the most dominant player at the time in the sport. Now, that being said, I've mentioned that Caitlin Clark had the most hype coming out of college. Had the most hype. 28.9 points per game, going to a couple of championships or the tournaments, and not winning them, but again, just very dominant in what she was doing in college. But so far in the NBA, I haven't really seen that, but she's taking the fanfare with her. And I think that as of like you look at last night, her highest scoring game, 45 and 10, 4 steals, or four assists, I think, or 3 steals or something like that. She had a stat line that was her best ever, albeit from the worst team in the league, the Seattle Storm at 6. Sorry, Bo, 6-21. But you can only do what you can do against who's in front of you, and it was a comeback victory too. And Mitchell scored 30 points on her team as well, but she came back 110. They came back 110 to 107, and it's her finest effort. And was it a doozy. And so this is what I think they're looking for. I think this is what everybody's looking to see from her, because her scoring point averages since she's been in the league has been 18.9. it's not bad. It's not great. It ain't bad either, but it's not what the expectations came with. You know what I mean? So it's not, but yes. Yeah, it's a great question. Yes. Caitlin Clark isn't the problem. The inconsistency from the ref is, and that's what I was going to say. I think that, if you're the face of the league, if you're the where the league is looking to push out in the forefront, which Caitlin Clark has been that, you got to look at, let's go back to what Jordan was. Michael Jordan. We knew how hyped he was coming out of college, and he put the league on his back pretty much, even with the great teams around him. He was scoring. I mean, you saw the 63 in the playoffs against the Celtics and Bird, albeit they lost. But Jordan was doing any and everything he could to put that team on his back. And so the league, obviously a business, saw where their bread should be buttered. The next face of the league was Michael Jordan. He was getting beat down. The Jordan rules. He was getting beat up by mostly in particular Detroit Pistons. But the league played like this. But the rules had to change in order for somebody like that who's playing at a high level, who's dominant, but can't break the ceiling because of what's going on. And also Jordan put it on his own back too. He put it on his back. He got in the weight room. He got bigger. He did everything to get bigger and better. He got a better shot selection. He got better at his shots. He figured out his spots. He was very competitive. I can see this in Caitlin Clark. I can see the competitiveness in her. I can see, but so far, she hasn't shown that she can elevate past whatever obstacles are in front of her. But that might be changing. And as again, going back to that game last night, that's her best game ever. And again, it was quite impressive. And that's what I think.
Best game, and I think it was the best game.
One of the best in the NBA. I mean, WNBA's history. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So that's what they're looking for. And that's where the league has to figure out rules to protect not just her, but protect all players. But again, we see kind of there's a combination of jealousies and a combination of unfair favoritism, I think. I mean, not saying that she has been getting favoritism, but the fandom is what you got to look at. It's like, okay, where are all these fans when we're looking at somebody like A'ja Wilson? I think you got to, unfortunately, you got to look at the color of the skin. And we hate to say that. People are going to always support their own. And bringing somebody in that's pure white chocolate, coming in, playing like white chocolate, Jason Williams. Again, when you see a guy like that playing ball, and he's not the average white person playing ball the way he does, he brings another fanfare. That's just what it is. It is what it is. It brings a lot of people that didn't really watch the sport. They come and support. And so this is what's happening with Caitlin Clark. And so you got the WNBA has to take advantage of that, and they got to have some stiffer rules on what's going on with her. And I think it's probably happened a little bit, but yeah, they got to do a little bit better. But I think, yes, she's not the problem. I think the rules of the WNBA are the problem.
So, in answer to your question there, Liz, I think the WNBA should review their officiating standards. It's when you got Adam Silver chiming in on it from the NBA point of view, and he says they need to lock down these officials. Not easy for me to say this morning. Then, I mean, it is what it is. I think that's part of it. Caitlin, it's kind of like the Reese Caitlin thing. To me, they're two different players, and to compare them together is not fair for either one of the players, because I think Reese does everything she can in her own right. Everybody says, "Oh well, she's the meme bound, the meme bound queen," but she's getting her own rebounds. What are you doing standing around looking? You know what I'm saying? So she's leading the league in all these categories as far as the rebounds. This is why
I hate excuses. I hate excuses.
Yeah, I know they're trying to encourage more competition in the WNBA to get it more media savvy so that people will say, oh, wow, that happened that last night. Caitlin did this and Reese did that. Aja did that. See, the focus is not on Aja, though. This is a thing that I'm not understanding about the WNBA. You want to focus on your star players because those are the ones that make your league go round. And I don't think Aja gets enough credit. Even Sophia Cunningham on Caitlin's team gets a lot of hype. I don't know if you've seen the one video where she's up there pointing and she's doing this. She's not saying that, she's just pointing at it and then pissing whoever the hell she was pointing to. She was pissing them off bad too, and she just kept doing it. It was funny to see. And Sophia, to her credit, she said that was pretty dumb anyway of me to do, but I was just caught up in a moment, and it was, and she was losing her stuff, so I just kept doing it. But she said that was kind of a stupid thing for me to do. But and she's a very big proponent of Caitlin Clark too. She defends her a lot, because, well, obviously because she's a teammate, but at the same time, she's got some, salt to what she says, and about Caitlin Clark. And I do think that Caitlin Clark is kind of getting the, I wouldn't say the bad end of the shaft, because I mean, she's still a figurehead of the WNBA, even though, she's not producing like we think she was going to do when she got out of college. I think Reese is who she is. So we have no problem with Reese because that's what she was in college. She was a rebound queen. But as far as Caitlin is concerned, I think she does get a little due because of the hate. Because of the way people see her in the WNBA, and it's, to me, I've listened to blogs, I've watched, I've seen posts and stuff about this whole situation with Caitlin Clark, and there's people of my skin hue that don't like Caitlin Clark either. It's you would say, well, people following their own people, but there's people bashing Caitlin Clark that are white too, and I don't know if they're basketball purists or whatever the consideration is on that one, but Caitlin Clark is one of those types of players that she looks like she could be abrasive. She looks like she could talk to, and she does talk stuff on the court. Let's get that.
It's basketball. That's what. Yeah. Look, when the whole thing in college happened, when she did the "can't see me" thing, and then Angel Reese did it back to her, I'm like, she's a player. Of course, she's gonna do something crazy, but. When Angel Reese did it to her, everybody came for Angel Reese. Everybody came for Angel Reese. But the reality is, Caitlin Clark was like, why are they coming for her? She understood. They're going to talk trash on the court. They're basketball players, but people wanted, because of the color of her skin, she's looked at as a princess. And Angel Reese is probably Maleficent on the court. So I mean, it's going to be like that. That's just how people. This is where the Disney thinkers, everybody out there looking at the fairy princess. And reality is, they're both basketball players and they're both competitive. It's just what it is. And so if you got into a conversation or to a one-on-one pickup game with Caitlin Clark, I guarantee you, most of the people who have the perception of her as being this nice person probably would be in for a rude awakening because she understands the game. Look back at Larry Bird. Larry Bird, it's so many accounts of so many black players that love Larry Bird because of how crazy he was and what he said, the things he would tell you that he was going to do, and he would call you out and tell you he's going to score on you in this position and everything, and actually follow through with it. It's just it's just the competitive nature of the sport. So I think the perceptions of things are just off. And let's just get two things straight here. What she had going in her favor going into this, she was an excellent basketball player as a female, and she's an excellent basketball player as a white female. That drew in a bigger audience. And fair or unfair, we're talking about A'ja Wilson had already been in the league before her and already been dominant before her. Nobody's watching WNBA. You saw what Liz just said. She decided to watch this year. So this season, nobody's watching. And now when Caitlin Clark came, the viewership changed. It's what it is. And if you're of the mindset of business and not all what's fair and unfair, because in reality in life, people, newsflash, life isn't fair. It's not. But should that stop you from doing what you're supposed to do or moving forward? No. Everybody's dealt a certain hand in life. And everybody, you got to play the hand you're dealt. It's what it is. And I think A'ja Wilson knows that, and she's going to continue to play her game and do what she's supposed to do. But I think a lot of those players don't know that and didn't really understand that, like, okay, you got somebody that's coming in the league that can benefit everyone that's playing in the game. So why are you trying to hurt the thing that's going to benefit and give you more money? That's asinine to me. That's very asinine. Whether you like it or not, I'm not going to hurt my bottom line. That's goofy. And unfortunately, the reality, it's just goofy. The reality is that Caitlin Clark is the bottom line in the league right now. And I think she's not the problem. I think the rules, the officiating is the problem again.
Yeah, and I twofold on that one because I think that is the problem. It's the officiating. I think Caitlin Clark is a decent player. I think she's the best player in the league. Obviously not. A'ja's that woman. But Caitlin Clark definitely, and you're right, it's a marketing ploy. I think this is what the WNBA wanted to do, is have villains and villains and heroes. And they're making Caitlin to be a hero, even though she probably talks more stuff than she's talking more stuff than anybody. It's the same thing with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan used to talk stuff on a basketball court too, and was a high competitor. Dude was a GOAT. You know what I'm saying? There
was no social media back then, so you don't know what Jordan was doing outside of basketball. You didn't know his real side. You knew, hi, I'm Michael Jordan. And come fly with me, like Mike. If I could be like Mike, I want to be like Mike.
Gatorade commercials. McDonald's
yes,
commercials.
Absolutely, marketing, man. Yeah. The first dude with the Nike shoe brand. Come on, man. Yeah. It makes sense. It made sense from a business standpoint. But if you knew Jordan and who he was, he found any and everything to be competitive. He would do anything that make things up to be competitive. And I wasn't mad at it. That's what it took to win 6 championships. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. I mean, A'ja's the same way though. She talks a lot of mess, and she's gotten a couple. Sure. And she's putting herself out there in the media too. And I think people are more starting to focus on her slowly. She's got a couple of commercials out there now too. That is showing I'm the four-time MVP of the league, blah blah blah, and she's got it right too, because hey, she's that one in the WNBA right now. And
she's got the hardware. She's got the hardware right now. Regardless of who the face is, Caitlin Clark doesn't have any hardware. No playoff appearances. Nothing. And so hey. It is what it is. I mean, that fanfare eventually will wear off if you're not doing anything to show that. And I think again, a step in the right direction was last night or yesterday. Mm-hmm. That game that was impressive. Again, no matter who was in front of you, you were dominant. That's what the league is looking for. That's what the fan base is looking for. Whether they hate her or love her, you want both. You want both people to love her. You want people to hate her, love to hate her. That's what makes for great entertainment. It makes it great. And so again, I think the league to continue to succeed, Caitlin Clark has to succeed. So they got to change the rules for sure.
I think another point too, I think Angel Reese is another one that is underrated as far as people talking about her. She's another person that they have a lover or hater type of thing. And she's the Barbie of the league, and she does, but she comes in doing her job. Let's not take that away from Reese. She comes in there doing her job. You might not like the fact that she gets a lot of rebounds, but you know what, dude, you got to be there to do it. And if you're going to sit around here looking at her getting rebounds, then you're not the player she is, obviously. And if she's leading in every category in that kind of.
That is such a cockamamie. I sound like Jack. That's such a cockamamie excuse. Nah, it's sorry, Jack. Another shot. I know you don't say that, but it sounds like you a little bit. That would be a cockamamie excuse, though, because Dennis Rodman did the same thing. He played his role, and Ben Wallace did the same thing. These are guys, undersized defensive players, but that they were dominant in that rebounding field. And they got me bounds, too, for sure. You know, that because Dennis could shoot. Dennis could shoot, but
I mean, he's a little bit better than Ben, but he wasn't.
he wasn't great. I was saying, that should be a debate question about whether or not Dennis Rodman could have been a scoring threat. Because if you look at his college tape and look at the times he actually did shoot threes, it was like an ocean when he shot the 3-pointers, and it was none but nets. Dennis could shoot. I think Dennis wasn't supposed to shoot because he had a role on the team. He had a role on defense and rebounding, and play that role. And I think that's what makes him a great team. Some people who are unselfish and willing to do the greatest things that they can do to help their team win. And but that being said, like you just mentioned about Caitlin Clark, I think that she's not Caitlin Clark, but Angel Reese. She's doing what she's great at. And mind you, regardless of her getting me bounds, she's still averaging 13, 14 points a game. That's nothing to sneeze at. You know what you got in her. Build around that. That's what you got. That's what the Dream has to do. They got to build around that.
Yeah. And I think she's perfect for the Dream, actually, to tell you the truth. They work around with her. They work with her. I don't think Chicago was too good for her in the first place. And they're just now that the Dream are hyping her abilities, and that's what's good. Speaking of things that happen in basketball, we're going from the WNBA to the NBA, where there was a scuffle in Vegas between Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. Basically, they're ex-teammates. I think that Hero was talking stuff about Bam, and Bam was like, huh? Dude, we ain't going for that. I can't go for that. No. And so he kind of got his own justice on him. Was the NBA right not to punish Bam for punching Tyler Hero in Vegas? Now, guaranteed, this is not in a game. It was a prelude to Summer League, actually, because that's, they were there for the Summer League. But it wasn't in a game. It was off to the side. It was a private matter that they got into. But do you think that Bam should have got punished for it? That's the question.
Yeah, I agree with the NBA in not proceeding further in this situation. I think had it gotten to the situation where it was a pool, Draymond Green situation where he was laid out and there was visuals on it, then maybe. Yeah, when you have visuals on anything, like unfortunately the Ray Rice and his wife situation, you gotta be able to fix that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, and do right, because most times people don't say anything about anything, and it's forgotten when you don't see something. But when something's been recorded and it's there forever, they got to apply some sort of action. And both players have agreed to move on. And again, I'm of the old school addicts, and you talk trash about someone, you got to be of the mindset to put your dukes up. And not only that, there's even though the person is unaccounted for as an anonymous source that was there, supposedly or reportedly, the person said that Bam Adebayo confronted him, but also the response that Tyler Hero gave was not in a nice manner. What he said was what triggered the punch. It wasn't because Bam came to confront him and just pretty much asked him why was he saying stuff about him in online. And I can only imagine that it was something snarky in his response. Because these young guys, man, people do things without consequence. And to me, typing something in a DM is some internet gangster stuff. you don't do stuff about people and now don't expect consequences if it gets leaked out. And to, paraphrasing, he's virtually saying that Bam Adebayo was not a $60 million a year defensive player on their team. And you're challenging somebody's credibility. And let's put the facts out there. Bam Adebayo is in a one-time first team defensive all defensive team and 5-time second team all defensive team. So you don't get that without being a great defensive player. So, and I think Bam in the media kind of alluded to during their season last season, that he needs some defensive help. He needs help on defense. And so hit dogs holler. And so I would imagine, and also you getting traded, there's a lot of bitterness there, a little bit of business bitterness there. And so you're going to throw some stuff out there that may be a little bit, not saying beyond your character, but some secondhand, like bitter discussion. But again, you say stuff, there's always a consequence and reaction to everything in life, cause and effect. You said something that got out there, somebody came and confronted you on it. Mm-hmm. For me, be a man, you ain't got to say nothing crazy. Just say, you know what? It was my bad. Apparently, it wasn't his bad. He didn't think that. He said something crazy. He took one to the jaw. He didn't fall down. That's what I understand. He didn't fall and hit the ground, but it left a mark, I think, on his nearest chin or something like that, somewhere around there. But that being said, they decided to move on, and I think the NBA did right to just let this go.
Yeah, good old hero, FAFO. If you don't know what that is, look that kind of right. But yeah, Bam. To answer this question, had it been a bigger star, I mean, Bam is a pretty big star. Let's not take that away from Bam. He is a pretty big star. I mean, he became even better.
83 points.
Star when he scored that 83 points. Yeah. I mean, not a lot of people knew who Bam. I mean, they knew who Bam was, but didn't know who Bam was. But when you score 83 points, all of a sudden you know who Bam is. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
At the same time, you're right. He is a very good defensive player. He's got that track record proven. Hero, he is just an offensive player. He's one of those spot players. What comes in there gives you that lift when you need a lift on an offense. So to me, I think Hero should have sat his behind down and said nothing, period. But he was emotional. And when we get emotional, we say stupid stuff. And that's probably where that whole incident came from, saying something stupid. And you believe it in your mind. You believe it in your mind, even though in your soul you don't believe it. But you're just saying it anyway because, hey, I got traded from Miami. So F Miami, I'm just going to take it out on all the players there. And the first person was the target was Bam.
Exactly. I would say, look, he was probably in his feelings because, look, LeBron James, he left Cleveland to go to Miami. I mean, everybody would leave Cleveland to go to Miami. People gave LeBron James flack for that, but I always say this. Anybody who gave LeBron James flack is disingenuous. Why? Because they would never want anyone to tell them what job and where their job could be in any place like that. They wouldn't, nobody like goes, oh, you left this job and you left McDonald's and went to Chick-fil-A? How dare you? Right. How dare you leave the Golden Arches and go work at a place where you're off on Sundays? Get out of here, man. Come on. It's just goofy. That's the goofiest take I've ever heard from people. It's just goofy followers. I mean, just anybody follows everything. LeBron went to a place where he knew he was going to win championships. Nobody wanted to come to Cleveland and play with him except the not so diesel Shaq. He didn't play with a Shaq that was diesel in Los Angeles. He played with a Shaq that had lost a lot of weight. I mean, gained a lot of weight and was not the same player. But that being said, Tyler Hero was traded from Miami, from the place he was drafted. Instantly, I'm pretty sure he set his home up there. He got a big contract there. He figured he was going to be there for life and living the dream on the beaches and sipping Pina, as they say on Cheech and Chong's Nice Dreams, Pina Colonics.
Mhm.
and living the dream there. And it got shattered. Albeit he went to his old hometown, Milwaukee. But who wants to go back to Milwaukee? You just seen a player that you just got traded for left there and came to Miami. Now you're going back there where you're from. You know what's up. It's not the place you want to be. It's not the ideal dream, but it is what it is. That's the
Mhm.
business of the game. And then he did the right decision of moving on. And I think Bam did the same thing of moving on. And I think the NBA did the right decision on moving on.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. Pat dominated the headlines in the NBA this week because of the things that he said about, maybe potentially adding somebody else to giving them that hint, like LeBron was going to go to Miami. The other thing that he said, they talked about the incident between Bam and Hero to him, and he asked him, what do you think about the situation? He goes, well, I talked to Bam, but I kind of asked him some kind of questions, and I didn't want to get hit. I was like, Pat, that's just bad, dude. But it was funny at the same time because he had the whole media room dying in there with that. I was like, yeah, I don't want to get hit either. So he's like, I was just being cool with Bam. I was like, I'm gonna be cool with you, Bam. I don't want to get hit, man.
That is funny. But that tells you, look, Pat Riley's of the old school.
Mm-hmm.
He don't have a problem with that kind of thing. I mean, if people think that these guys were nice within their organization and anything like that, that there's just like all kumbaya, they are sadly mistaken. A lot of these guys get into fight. Michael Jordan, Steve Kerr, they got into a fight. It's a fisticuffs in Chicago, but they won championships. You didn't see it on video. Nobody's filming that, but it got out. This is what happened before. A lot of these guys get into fights in practice. Things get heated. When you're competitive and you're trying to win, sometimes it just happens. Man, just in pickup games. I trust me, I've gotten into scuffles playing on just at least verbally. You talk trash to each other. You're banging bodies. Pause. Shout out to Charles Barkley. Banging bodies.
Horrible.
Yes, exactly. Terrible.
Terrible.
Yes, terrible. But it happens. It happens. And this situation, he was a former teammate. Supposedly they were at least friendly. I mean, from what I understand, the 7 years they played together. And but again, respect. I think people tend to forget that aspect of life. Respect across the board for everybody. I respect you. You respect me. As soon as the line becomes crossed, when you disrespect, all bets are off. What do people? How do we create? There's no Geneva Convention in regular life here. Hell, it's not even in the military. In war situations, people do things that you may need to be prepared for. Aaron Burr. I just saw an old video of Aaron Burr versus Alexander Hamilton. Aaron Burr challenged. Alexander Hamilton challenged Aaron Burr to a duel. But then he shoots the gun in the air like a dummy. And Aaron Burr shoots him. It's all fair in love and war, man. I mean, it is what it is. And he died. So, I mean, my thing is just be careful what you do in life. Be careful and make sure to respect people out there. For anybody out there, especially younger people out here, there's a difference. I'm going to give you a nugget here, people out there. You younger people out there, I work with a lot of young people. There's a distinct difference between liking and disliking somebody and respecting them. You can dislike somebody, but you better darn well show them respect, because disrespect may get you cut. I'm just telling you. There's countries that do not like each other, but some of these countries have weapons of mass destruction, so they do respect each other. Let's put that out there. Otherwise, we wouldn't be watching a post-apocalyptic movies. We'd be one.
Yeah. Sometimes I also like, well, you were right about how teams that are competitive, they just kind of focus on winning. And I remember Larry Bird talked about he went after Kevin McHale a couple of times because Kevin McHale was acting like an ass. So he went after him. He's like, hey, dude. And you already know how Larry Bird is about white players in the first place. You got this white player checking me. I remember we saw that one where he went by. Who were they playing? And they put a white guy on him, and he went by the bench and told the coach, "You gonna put the white guy on me? Come on, get a brother out here. Come on, I'm still challenged."
That's funny as heck.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. But that's Larry Bird. But let me see, feelings and emotions take over. Hey, feelings and emotions will get you shot and killed. I'm just saying. In reality, you got to keep that in check, and it's or expect the consequences. Deal with them later. There's a lot of people in prison for life that have had feelings and emotions that got them in prison. It is what it is.
Yeah. But this other comment about Charles Barkley pissing Liz off about the fact that he called all the women in San Antonio fat.
Well, he don't say fat; he says big old women.
Big old women, yeah. That translates to fat to me, but whatever. Yeah.
It does. No, it does. You're crazy.
but
anyway, Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Yes,
he's
my bad.
Yep, we got you, Liz. We got you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was hilarious with him even saying that. But back on the Bam and the Hero, I think that you were right. We've actually agreed just about on all the debate questions. That's just not good. But anyway, whatever. We had our spin on them though, so that's the point.
Jack, if you're watching, yes, this is a totally different way of doing this. He's probably gonna watch the show too. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the NBA showing Bam no punishment for that was right. It wasn't in the theater of the basketball arena. It was just probably some heated exchange, and like I said, it wasn't a fisticuffs where they decided to go through battle royal on it. It was just one hit, and I think Hero was like, all right. I think that knocks some sense into him. You know how you say you hit somebody and knocks some sense into him? It
could have been, for what I understand. He didn't back down. I think he was being held back after it happened. Hero was being held back after it happened. So it looked like he wanted to get into it, but I think probably was the best thing to not allow him to, because he might have. I saw his boxing videos and sparring. He was right to get held back. Yeah, it wasn't pleasant. No.
Yeah, but I think he did think about it, because you know what, if you really want to go at somebody, you see these players all the time. They rip away from other players and go after them. I think he did think about that after he got hit. He might have wanted to retaliate at the moment. Again, emotions and feelings. But at the same time, that little voice in the back of his head was like, you know what, dude, it ain't even worth that. Let's not get in the fisticuffs, because you might not even come out on top in this situation, because Bam is a big dude. So I think he just thought about it. I think he got held back. He didn't fight it. He was like, you know what? Okay, I'll shut the hell up now. That's, it is what it is.
Right.
All right, Rick. Have a good one, man.
Excellent, Rick.
And on that
see you tomorrow, man.
Yes, we are going to leave you guys and see you next Saturday with Jack at 8 a.m. Tune into our show tomorrow, the Sunday Sports Podcast. Keith will be back. Yay, Keith, on his Alaskan tour there. And we'll all be there. Jack will be there as well. So everybody have a very good rest of your weekend. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.